I had been reached out through a rescue to foster a blind puppy who needs a home. And I just started bawling my eyes out because it was so cute.
What are you doing?
Personally, I never really back then saw myself getting a bully in general. He has his cropped ears, unfortunately, that make him look a lot meaner than he truly is. But I said I would give it a try.
Hey, no. Give me a kiss.
So I went to Walmart and I picked up a laundry basket and I went and picked up this very tiny puppy. I was nervous, but at the time I was also only thinking it was going to be 2 weeks. It was hard getting him adjusted. Obviously, he can't see where everything is. I pretty much just turned into a helicopter parent, making sure he didn't bump into anything. I had bought him a hula hoop that goes around their head. And it kind of helps to get them used to the layout. And he is so sad but so cute because you can see him hit the wall and he gets so discouraged. But then he kind of finds his way again. Obviously, I am not made to foster because I can't get rid of them. That's how I got Levi. But when I decided that I was going to socialize him with other dogs in doggy daycare, he was being fairly aggressive with the other dogs in the daycare because he's blind from birth. So I thought he would be an only child forever.
I'm over here!
But someone reached out to me again saying, hey, we know you have a blind puppy. We have another blind bully. Because Levi had never seen a puppy before. Denial, absolutely not. But his life consisted of sunbathing all day, waiting for me to come home. So I thought maybe there's that slight chance that Levi will understand that this is a baby and he'll be gentle. So the first night that I had brought Jax home, we just let them smell from the crease at the bottom of the door. And then that turned into me holding Jax and they would just smell each other like that, which turned into a few weeks later on leash and eventually just started playing together. And now they are so in love with each other. It's shocking. So Levi has been helpful in some ways, like teaching him how to use the doggy door. If Jax can hear Levi drinking water, then he knows where the water bowl is. Also, the sound of the collars, Jax can follow Levi everywhere.
Good boy. It's like, what do I do?
Levi loves being a big brother.
Happy boy! Go, go, go! Go, go, go!
Special needs dogs in rescues go overlooked all the time, especially a bully breed. But when you work through those problems, you have the most loyal and lovable dog you could ever ask for. And I don't know what my life would look like if I didn't have my dogs.
Hey, Cash! Hi! Did you miss me? The biggest question I get asked all the time is, how on earth do you have a donkey in the house? But he's very much adapted to our life inside. At night, he knows, okay, it's time for bed. He gets his bottle before bed, and then he goes in our room with us. We turn the lights off. He goes over to the side of the bed that my husband's on, and he just sleeps the whole night. Oh gosh, it's amazing.
I'm filming our little gorilla.
One morning, my husband and I happened to be walking, checking our fences. We went into a part of the farm we'd never really go into, and all of a sudden,
we had a very big surprise this morning. We go outside and one of our donkeys gave birth way earlier than we thought.
we watched her jump up and started stomping and kicking him. So we ran over, I jumped on Cash. My husband came and cut the umbilical cord, and we ran him inside to save him. And the journey began of us raising a baby donkey in the house. And I remember that first night, I don't think we slept at all. at the same time. We both knew this is basically our child and we have to keep him alive.
Cash! Hey! Cash! Where are you?
And all of a sudden, he realized, okay, this is my home. I'm safe. And he just came alive. He was like a little racehorse running around all over the place. That progressed to he'd run up next to another animal and do like a little kick like he was showing off. But he really just wants to always know right where we are and be within sight of us.
Cash!
He very much likes to be the center of attention. But he definitely looks at us like we're his parents.
I'm just in love with those little tiny hooves.
Just such an incredible experience to have him inside in our day-to-day life. He's a good example of loving unconditionally. We let him interact with his mom through the fence, and he loves her. He just is so happy to be alive, and it does something to you when you watch that. It's pretty amazing.
When Rojo found a baby owl in his own bathroom, he didn't know what to do. And his shock doubled to discover 3 more. All of them were just the size of his hand, but the baby owls very quickly took over his life. Everywhere he went, there was an owl waiting for him. If he sat still for even a moment, they would be climbing all over him. And when he would try to work, the feathered babies wanted to help him out. Little did he know this would be the least of his worries. One day, Rojo heard a strange sound coming from his vet. So he went to check on it, and when he opened it, a pair of eyes was staring at him. He wasn't sure how they got there or where the parents were, so he waited, but no one came for them. He started researching what they needed, and he set up a cage with a towel over it. Rojo was worried about their diet the most, so he started with a drop.
Buenos días.
And the owlets quickly went over to more solid foods. In the beginning, the baby owls were a little unsure about him. They were very quiet and they would watch him closely with their big eyes. But after a few feeds, the babies realized he was there to help. Rojo never gave them names as he hoped to release them. However, it became very easy to tell them apart because they were so different. The biggest and oldest chick was very protective over his siblings. He would sometimes get upset when Rojo tried to touch them. Another baby owl was very affectionate and cuddly. The third owl was very rebellious and always wanted to do his own thing. And the last one had a very serious face, but was actually quite friendly. All of them grew to love Rojo and they wanted to be a part of anything he was busy with. Sadly, he knew he couldn't keep them forever. There was a tree with pygmy owls nearby, so he brought them there. The oldest was the first to go, and all the owls were happy to find their tree. Rojo was very sad to see them go, but also very grateful that they happened to him.
Міна лягла біля нього, він не може перестати її лизяти.
When people hear we have a deer at home, they think I'm joking or crazy. But Horoshok is part of the family here. He loves spending every minute with my kids, especially when they include him in their games. If I can find him, I know he's with one of the kitties. And every day, he will wait to come inside to check on his family. But when we rescued him, we didn't know he would choose to stay. We found Goroshok injured in the forest, and he was the tiniest fawn I had ever seen. Mother deer almost never abandon their young, so we figured she was probably gone. He was so small, there was no way he could take care of himself, so we took him in. We have always lived near the woods, so we knew a lot about deer, but did more research to help him the best we could. We all took turns feeding him, petting him, and just making sure he was growing big and strong. My kids were just as drawn to him and helped me in any way they could. He knew we were the ones looking out for him, and he eventually let his guard down. As he got more comfortable, we introduced him to our other animals.
Ну так, вся банда в зборі, бригадір на місці, зараз усім треба нести смаколики.
And every day he was just getting better and happier. But of course, we couldn't keep him inside all the time, so we were taking him out to our garden. It took him a little while to adjust to that.
І на двір хотів, і каже, й холодно, напевно, назад до хати я буду тікати.
We live right by the woods, and we weren't sure whether he would go and live his life out there. He was much bigger then, and it was definitely a possibility. But night after night, he would come back and ask to come inside. We decided that if he was unhappy here, he would leave. But he knew we were his family, so we continued to care for him. Goroshok has always been very friendly. I think that's one of the ways he says, "You're my home, I love you." And we just love him right back. Our lives have changed so much since we found Goroshok. He has become a dear friend, and I can't imagine what we would do without him.
Waddles visited me every day, several times a day actually. He will turn up at the front door and just squawk. If I walked around the property, he would follow me around. And I have to be careful when I go inside to shut the front door because he will follow me in. As much as it's very cute to have a kookaburra coming into your home, I had been really concerned because Fluffy and Falcor had disappeared. They were the first kookaburras that visited me every day. What I didn't know is that they were creating this little miracle. And so they brought him to me. They were so unkempt and so hungry that they left him with me and went to hunt and get food for themselves. I was just so surprised that they left him with me, but also thrilled. Waddles is the cheekiest little kookaburra you could ever meet. He is literally the prince of them all. When it is a food day, Waddles will be the first one to be there. He will jump on the plate, and I have to make sure that I'm holding the plate really tightly because otherwise I'll drop it. He's got the best of both of his parents. He's got Falcor's beautiful personality, and he's got Fluffy's good looks. He has like a turned up little beak that makes him look like he's smiling. He's like my best little friend. But he is a wild bird and I want to keep him that way. Good morning, everyone. Being a bird carer has been my dream since I was a very young child. Kookaburras are so very, very soft and so very, very gentle. When you have one sitting on your wrist and they're just looking in your eyes, you can see that there's an understanding. If anyone else comes onto my property, the birds will fly down, see it's not me, and they'll fly away. I feel blessed to be part of the riot. I am living my best life here on my property with Waddles and his family.